everybody, and welcome back to the Flip Thought Show. It's your host with the most, King Truth, host of Bird, Benny Bo, the one with the word, the one with the flow. And we coming at you live, man, at 5:21. And we got more content. We ain't done. Nah, but yeah, man, this is the Hulk Hogan video that I did actually go live on Riverside, but for some reason it got taken down. So whoever's seen it before, my bad. I had to put it out again because it never did get uploaded. So what we're going to do first is we're going to listen to the reactions of a lot of the wrestlers and a lot of the different stars, their reaction on Hogan's death. And then we're going to go to my good old guy, man, God Fear TV, and he's really going to break down what transpired with this cover-up. Y'all see the title. So, boom. First person we're going to see react to Hogan's death is Charleston White.
Want me to be racist, and I don't want my daughter no. I can't be mad at Hogan because he don't want no big pushing.
Now, what he's referring to is when Hulk did not know he was being recorded his audio. He was mad at Brooke, and he did say the hard ER towards Brooke's boyfriend, but mind you, he did not know he was being recorded. He was under a bunch of stress, which isn't an excuse. He was under a bunch of steroids at that time. And you'll see later on in the interview, he said that he was at the lowest point of his life when he did make that statement. He loves the African American community. And you'll hear Booker T as well speak on an occurrence where actually he called Hulk N-I-G-G-A, a ninja, and Hulk didn't feel no way about it, as if they're, on some family shit, just as some respect. But he had thought that Hulk was going to take it a different way and try to get him fired. But you'll see.
That large log off in this girl, stretching her out, only to leave her as a single mother to come back to a white man.
Charleston White, though, with these narratives, not narratives, I mean, with these metaphors, man, it's just, it's crazy, man. Charleston White is a character, man.
And with a stretched out, you can't be mad at Hugger. That I hope my daughter go get a mixed kid. I hope she don't get no full man. Am I? Yeah, I don't like most people. I swear to God, I don't. I didn't go to school with you. My mama, I didn't grow up in the ghetto, by the way. I'm a true seed of Dr. King's American dream. You get to go across the race tracks and hold hands with white people. I ain't like you. I ain't mad at white people about a mother thing. 99 to 100% of white people never own a baby that's alive today. Y'all mad for? 99 to 100% of white people alive today never own a baby. And back then, only a small portion of white people own. How you gonna be mad at all white people? Because they got hired as the supervisor to oversee them. Hell, you talking about? Even the black supervisor put the whip on them. So how you gonna be mad at the white boy supervisor cracking the whip when master gone? Supervisor on the job do the same thing when the manager leave. Nigga, he play like he the manager and mistreat all the other workers he don't like. So I don't want to hear. Hulk Hogan is a legend, and don't nobody want their daughter but a project. They don't want to happen. And Hulk Hogan didn't say, he said if she's gonna fuck a guy, I hope she fuck an NBA. And I now love for my daughter to go get a rich NBA. But don't nobody want no broke pushing no big good off of their daughter. They're good and big, and he ain't got no money. He all of the reward. She got to come to get the reward. No, that's not a legacy. It's gonna be a single mother soon. They don't know. Stop talking. Stop trying to explain to poor people what racism is. They get prejudice confused with racism. Yeah. They don't know capitalism supersedes racism. Racism is a thing of the past. Capitalism rules. Consumerism rules. That's why they say the American consumer. They don't call you the American citizen. They say everybody is listed as American consumer. Consumerism. Capitalism has superseded racism.
Hogan is dead at the age of 71. From now on, we call each other Kinga. Kinga means we all people are righteous kings.
Roger, tell these Kingas subscribe to the Prophet channel.
They got to. Did you?
Dooring is a cyclist's worst nightmare. Being doored is when a car door unexpectedly opens in front of a cyclist.
tell you what, I'd get it on with a boxer like Tyson if they wanted to, but if they wanted to make the fight fair, they better put a pair of handcuffs on me. You know, Tyson's got them gloves, you know, and I got all these other things, all other parts of the body to use. I can take him down for doing a hammer lock, a wrist lock, a leg lock. And I tell you what, once I get on top, if he gets close enough to hit me, I just reach out and grab him. Yeah.
To talk about that clip we just saw?
Well, sure, I would. Mike Tyson and I, yeah, we got something in common. You know, Mike and I talked about this thing, you know, and everybody's interested. What would happen if Mike Tyson and Hulk Hogan were to lock up? So what's going down at WrestleMania 7 is Hulk Hogan's going out to get the WWF title, Arsenio. And once I get the WWF title and Mike Tyson gets his shot back at his title, we're going to sit down and talk about this thing. It's going to be a lot different than when I got hold of old Rocky Balboa, picked him over my head, and threw about 100 seats out in the bleachers. This thing with me and Tyson could get intense. And can you imagine? They could charge $20 million for each TV set because everybody would want to see who's the real champion of the world, Hulk Hogan or Mike Tyson.
Has there ever been a wrestler to fight a man of his caliber?
There's been several boxing wrestling matches, but never this. Yes, Ali did against a guy named Antonio Inoki, and the wrestler just chased him all around the ring, and they were joking about it. But that's the difference. Me and Tyson get it on. We get real serious. Back there, we're friends. But when we got in the ring, you saw how Mike Tyson is. He's intense, brother. And with all my millions of little Hulksters watching my back, I'd have to get real intense too. You better believe it. Wait a minute, I got something to say before we come out here. Something's been heavy on my mind. For him to do something like that, you know, that's just like putting fuel on the fire, you know, because not only is he going to step in there with Hulk Hogan, brother, he's going to step in there with the whole American nation and God Almighty, brother, and he can't beat that in WrestleMania 7. No matter what happens, whether you're there, whether you're in my corner, whether all these people come here, watch your pay-per-view, man, because I'm telling you right now, there's no way he's going to beat Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 7 with all the momentum I've got going, especially with a cheek shot, man.
Okay, now this thing is going to be here in Los Angeles, and I hear it's sold out.
Someday we're going to wrestle, man. I don't know what your schedule is. I got to go to New York, Tokyo, Japan, Africa, Asia, and all points in between. But someday we're going to be in heaven together, man. I know we're going to be booked in that same town in heaven. And when I come to heaven, you and I are going to wrestle for the WWF title. So I kind of boxed myself in, you know. I made this promise to all these little teeny Hulksters that aren't here anymore, man. They're already waiting on me. So Sergeant Slaughter, what you gonna do, brother, when the largest patriots in the world destroy you in WrestleMania 7? See, I'm already booked. That's why I got to win this title, man. I already got commitments.
Yeah, I hope you get busy.
I will.
You don't like this guy, do you?
No, not really. I don't like what he stands for, man. I mean, there's other ways to go, man. He didn't have to burn the Hulkster T-shirt, the Hulkster poster, man, and call all my little Hulkamaniacs, Pukemaniacs. I mean, you know, he could have lightened up a little.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Isn't there something going on where the loser has to retire?
Well, that's the Macho King, man. That's the Macho King. He's wrestling the Ultimate Warrior, and the man that loses that match, his career's over. Serious stuff, man. No more groceries.
Are you serious, though? Or would they figure out some way to, you know?
Well, I wish they'd work something out, man. You know, that I could have a day off every once in a while, but I'm telling you, the way it's going, one of these guys is going down.
Wow.
Maybe you fighting Mike Tyson. Could that ever be a possibility, Hope?
Well,
what would you do if someone offered that?
I've been trying to get that juvenile delinquent in the ring with me for quite some time. But you see, I don't know how many people here saw Rocky III, one of Sylvester.
Well, you're in that one.
Yes. And one of the reasons I was in the movie was Mr. Stallone wanted to show the world what would happen if a boxer got in the ring with a wrestler. And so I would love to get my hands on Mike Tyson.
What would you do? Would you just lean on him? He couldn't do much of it. I mean, you're much heavier.
He's done a lot of crazy things lately. The first thing I'd do is discipline him. I'd like to get him over my knee first. But we've approached him on several occasions, and even flew over to Tokyo to try to get him to sign a contract to referee a match. But after we got him to sign the contract, a week later, Buster Douglas beat him for the championship. So we had Buster Douglas as the special referee.
Hulk Hogan, wrestling ain't boxing, and Tyson would knock you out, just like I would knock out both of you guys. With God, cause I never had sex like Jesus.
The only man in the world who can do handstand push-ups with his fist.
It's truly a tragic loss. It's like him, Carl Weathers. I mean, it's, you know, you're losing some of these irreplaceable human beings. Like, you'll never see
like I said, there's gonna be a lot of them reacting to Hawk's death, and then it's gonna get more into the juicy stuff about the cover up, the last couple of videos of the Q, man. Y'all stay tuned though.
A man like him come down the pike again. So I just hope everyone really covets the memory, appreciates the visual of this icon, and probably the greatest wrestling icon we'll ever see. He's also was very smart. You know, quite often people judge a book by its cover. I know what that feels like, and they did the same with him. But he was very smart, very entrepreneurial, musical. He had a plethora of all these subjects that he was interested in. And the thing is, he just was in a lot of pain. I know he had so many injuries. I've had a lot of back operations. He's had 10 plus, and yet he never complained. He just tried to persevere and be as pleasant as possible. I miss him terribly. Like, God damn, it's just, you know, it's irreplaceable. And it's been a rough week between this and Ozzy Osbourne, and just you've lost some real monumental human beings. And he was a unique, giving soul, and people really didn't understand how deep he went. I, I I can say I'm just a better person for knowing him, and the beauty is that we have that on film forever. And I just hope the fans appreciate it, because that was the beginning of a titan, of a real unique individual who was not afraid to stand up, as you just mentioned, and put himself on the line for his beliefs. And that's to be commended always. At the end of the fight, Rocky jumps on you, and I strangle you and I choke you out. He goes, "What is the possibility of that happening in real life?" He goes, "Zero." And I go, "Prove it." And I'm choking him. He literally took me off like a donut and threw me like, boom, again, gently. But I go, "Oh, there's no way you can get out of this chokehold." He went, boom. So he was a force. He was a force.
I was a force too when I met you. Watch.
Stop taking steroids, my friend. No steroids. No steroids. Don't go jail. Let's go jail. Let's go jail. Don't take steroids. Okay? Don't sell your soul for the devil, my brother. You good guy. I know that. Okay? You good guy. Don't do porn. Don't take it. Money is not worth it. Don't sell your soul for the devil, my brother. You good guy. I know that. Okay? You good guy. Don't do porn. Only man in the world who can do handstand push-ups with his fist. Roger, tell these
King Gus.
subscribe to the Prophet channel.
They got you.
He died suddenly, just like that, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. And I woke up funky, and I went, "Shit, what is it?" And then I realized that was it. It was just like in here, in my wiring and in my constitution, that it was just hitting me, and it was heavy on my heart. So I wanted to share. I wanted to share something with you guys.
What's up, my brother? What's up, man? Tonight's night. The very last night. You and The Rock have a shot at the NWO. We were drafted on SmackDown. They were drafted on Raw. Tonight's the very last night. We have a shot to whoop their candy asses. 1, 2, 3.
You know, brother, I want these guys just as bad as you do. But it's not just you and me tonight. We've got a partner, Kane. Now, I've been in the ring with a lot of big, scary dudes, guy. But this guy, he's scarier than all the rest. I mean, he scares the hell out of me. Do you think we can trust this guy?
You know what? I completely know where you're coming from. You've been in the ring with a lot of scary cats. I've been in the ring with a lot of scary cats. And yeah, this cat is scary. He's big. He's scary. And hey, he ain't King Kong Bundy walking around here. Remember Bundy? Hi! Not Bundy. He ain't Kamala. Remember Kamala? Rubbing his belly. Hey, Kamala. But he is one big scary cat, and he is one big red ass-kicking machine. He's got no love. Oh, here he comes now. He's scared. He ain't scared. Watch this. Yeah. Rock, ask you something. You ready to go out there and whoop some ass? Ready to go out there and whoop candy ass?
Oh, I'm ready.
Is next. Oh my.
Well, The Rock wants to rehearse the match. It's, rehearse what? I've never rehearsed anything in my life. What are you talking about? Well, you know, we just want to make sure you can still go. I'm like, all right. So out of respect, I go down to Miami. They got this ring set up in this hot ass warehouse. And thank God The Rock's dad was there, Rocky Johnson, who I traveled with. He's one of my guys, you know.
Now we're in this club where our dads are walking in the clouds. And like me, I had not only a complicated relationship with my dad. My dad died January 15, 2020. The day before Christmas Eve, we got into a huge fight, massive fight.
Now Hulk Hogan is dead. At the age of 71, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at
So, it's all over the internet. And Hulk Hogan, you know who Hulk Hogan is. The big, gigantic wrestler guy that people have been watching all over the years, has passed away at the age of 71 today. And I see a lot of people talking about it. You know, Hulk Hogan would have never gave anybody who looks like me or has my skin color a RIP.
And people labeled Hulk Hogan a racist when that happened. You know, not when that happened, but when he made his comments and whatnot, people label him a racist. And I say, you normally know a racist by the people that they hang with, their friends. You normally know a racist by, you know, their kids. You know, and I said at that moment when I said that about Hulk Hogan, I said, man, that was a moment right there for Hulk Hogan. If he was a racist, I say a racist would have said, man, I'm gonna get this sucker fired. I'm gonna do my best to get him out of here. A racist would have said, man, I'm gonna have him working for me now. You know, that's what a racist would have did. But I asked Hulk Hogan, you know, why didn't he get me fired? Why didn't he go to the office and lobby to get me out of there? And he goes, it was like he was in shock. He was like, brother, I heard that word, you know, many times, and so it wasn't anything. He said, and most of all, I wouldn't go and try to get another one of the wrestlers fired, as well as the following day in catering. It's crazy. Macho Man Savage, Hulk Hogan, my brother and myself, we're in catering, and Macho Man Savage sees Hulk Hogan. He says, Hulk, what do you think about Booker T calling you the N-word? And Hulk Hogan goes, well, if I'm an N-word, I'm a good N-word. And that was it. And Hulk Hogan and I, from that moment in the 90s, we never spoke about that until just last week on my radio show. That's how irrelevant it really was.
And it's really sad when anyone passes away. But I really don't feel anything because I know for a fact that he didn't like us. He never hid the fact that he didn't like us. You know, but it's very sad when someone passes away, whether they were young or whether they were old, whether they were famous or whether they was just a regular person. You know, I really don't even know what to say, man. But I had to say something. So I don't think we're going to see people on here crying over him passing away. I don't see we're going to see people on here spazzing out over his passing. 71 years old, you're up there in age. That means you lived a pretty good life. You lived a really, really good life to make it to see 71. Some people don't even make it to see 17, 18, 27. Some people don't even make it that far in life. He made it that far. He was successful. So I'm letting you guys know that I don't feel no type of way. I don't feel no emptiness inside.
because this is the man who didn't like us anyway. But because I know of him, I've grown up seeing some of the skits that he's did on television in the wrestling ring. I'm gonna give him an RIP. But just know, he would have never did it for us, man. Ever. I'm out.
Hogan is dead at the age of 71. From now on, we call each other Kinga instead of the N-word.
But today something hit. I don't know what hit, but I look terrible because I've been crying. And yesterday.
Now this is going to be Linda Hogan with a bunch of allegations on Hulk saying he was basically a sex addict. He raped her. He raped her. He beat her. Now, what's crazy is like you remember, Brooke was getting beat by her, kick in the face, treated like complete trash. And Linda came on here, turned her camera on just for some clout for Hogan's death. It's just crazy to see.
Yeah, I went to try to go have Botox and shit, and they bruised me like, I don't know. But it's been 15 or longer years since I got left Hulk Hogan. And my family is in the worst mess. Brooke doesn't talk to us. She's had twins. She got married. She didn't tell us. She had twins. She didn't tell us.
Rub. Roll. Here I come.
She had a huge fight with Terry. I don't know how that reflected onto me, but she cut me out too. I haven't talked to her for 7 years, almost 8 years now. And God bless Nick. He's still such a good boy. I've never put a Facebook post out like this with my ugly face and my crying face, but I have to be honest about what I went through in my marriage with Terry as Hulk Hogan and what it entailed and what it has caused over the years and everything else. He's a complete liar. He is a sex addict. Yet he marches on. He marches on like, yeah, oh, I'm promoting my own beer, Real American Beer. Yeah, look at me. Woo! Yeah, he's such a hero, right? Not. Okay, I'm going to give you my thumbs down. I've given him more opportunities to come back and make us a family and try to, I'm sorry, it's so sad. And it's been 20 years and I'm still this sad. Somebody please explain that. I don't know. It just doesn't get better. I do love living alone. I don't ever want to be married again after him. Trust me. But I love my animals, and my lawyers were in cahoots with his lawyers. They had everything set up where they were cashing in on me. Yeah. Half of my settlement went to lawyers and back into the lawyer pot. And I ended up with hardly anything. I worked for 25 years for free, basically. And then the settlement that Terry got for fucking another friend's wife behind my back. Yeah, he got $30 million for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how does that make you feel, right? It's really just not about the money, though. It's that I've given him the opportunity to try to make things right with my daughter and try to make things right with my son and help him. But yet he's just like, here's a little bone, here's a little chip, here's a little something for you. He treats everybody like they're his ex-wife. Here's a little cookie for you. Here's a little cookie for you. Like, we mean nothing to him. I meant nothing to him, even though I earned a $20 million empire with him by I don't know when the fuck we got divorced, 2007, whatever, 2007. We had like a $25 million empire. And when I met him, he was in a fucking piece of shit car, living in Minnesota with a roommate. He had no money. Okay, yeah, he was in the Rocky movie. Who knew where that would go? Who knew where that would go? Who knew? But we hooked up before that, and then all of a sudden it just ignited, right? So it wasn't after that, it was before that. But
Looking at you now. Got a lot of people. Okay, what is it? Just send me a text, whatever it is, man.
First of all, Linda should have just sit down and shut up and take it. I went on 15 family vacations with them. I was the witness. I was the guy that was over there 5 days a week working out and seeing all this. I knew it all and I saw it all. And that's why I was called as the expert witness during their divorce, of which I have tape. TMZ, you want to see something? I'll bring it to you. We're going to see them ask me, Mr. Clem, yeah, did you single-handedly witness any abuse at all? I saw Linda call Brooke fat and the C word, slap her across the face probably 4 or 5 times, kick her in the legs, just belittle her, pull her hair. Well, what caused all this? Nothing. What do you mean? Well, Brooke didn't seem to do anything. Brooke didn't spill her glass of Coca-Cola at the table during dinner. She wasn't talking back and being disrespectful. She was just being a kid, and that got her ass beat uncomfortably more than people would know.
And now Hulk Hogan is dead. At the age of 71, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at 71 years old, TMZ has learned. He had a cardiac arrest.
The only man in the world who can do handstand push-ups with his fist.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube and all your platforms at once. Get ready for 5 times more engagement and views. Oh, the algorithms love streams and engagement, rewarding you with even more views. While you, sure, that works, upload and stream from Restream.
What if your website's success was only limited by one single thing? Privacy regulations. Details matter. Imagine if the Egyptians had run out of limestone just before finishing the pyramids. What if NASA had forgotten the password just before putting the first man on the moon? What if you failed to respect your users' data privacy choices? You've poured your heart and soul into your business. Don't fail at the last step. Enter CookieBot's Web CMP, offering easy implementation, customizable cookie banners, and automation, all designed to boost consent rates and build trust through the power of privacy-led marketing. That way, you can focus on what really matters: growing your business. Start for free at cookiebot.com.
I know it's been a tough week, for everyone right now. I know Ozzy, Hulk Hogan both gone. You personally knew both of them. How's it hitting you right now?
Yeah, it's been a really rough week, especially with the Hogans. My heart goes out to all of them because we spent the whole winter in Tampa, to skate with some pros, and actually we were living with Hulk's best friend Jake right nearby. We stayed in Florida to. Hulk was walking around in a cane, and he sees me. He's like, "Bam, what's up, man? You are shredding again." I'm like, "My wife's a stretch coach." He's like, that's what I need. If you guys stay in Florida, fix my back, you can skate. So we pretty much stayed in Florida the whole winter for the Hogans, and you know, they have the Monday night karaoke, which we host together, and that was really fun. So we were doing that all the time, and you know, just
Shocking.
very shocking. A really fun memory was actually fairly recently. He knew I was in St. Petersburg, Florida. I just got there, and it was both of our, you know, on our bucket list to see guitar shredder Yngwie Malmsteen from Sweden play, and he was playing. So through a connection of mine, we hung out with him, saw him play, and wound up doing a song together. And Nick Hogan was there. He just had a wedding, and you know, to sit with Hulk and watch Yngwie play, and just us look at each other and be like, this was on my bucket list. Yeah, this was on mine too. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. Really great.
So it's great that you got to see him then, you know, before.
Yeah, you know, it's really cool that he actually got to see his son Nick Hogan wedding, walking him down the aisle, and I'm still like, I feel a certain way. I'm still shocked by it all. It's actually really hard to concentrate on a skateboard up there right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know when icons kind of, you know, pass like this, it really hits hard. What do you think it teaches us as like a society, like when this happens, you know?
I mean, life is very precious. I mean, I feel like just the other day, you know, we're at the gym at his buddy Jake's house working out, and everything was cool. So
We actually had dinner plans next week.
yeah, we did.
You did? Oh, wow. Something that's kind of weird, but been making rounds lately is an old tweet where Hulk said that he thought you were like dead or something.
Yeah,
What was that all about?
You know,
what did you think about when that happened? You guys are both laughing. What happened with it?
I think this might have been right around when like Ryan Dunn crashed in his car, or maybe not, but there was a rumor going around that Bam died, and he totally believed it without double checking and put that tweet out. I gave him a call the next day. I'm like, hey Hulk, it's Bam. What? You're back from the dead? No, I was never dead. I'm very much alive. Yeah, false alarm. He's like, oh,
I wish we had Bam McJaren here. The Bam don't drink anymore. Get over here, man. Bam, just smell that, man. Smell it.
Take a sniffy whiff out.
There you go. Real American beer in your face. Bam McJaren, Katie, and RVD. And I'm hiding behind the muscle. Oh, you stunned me, brother. Sweet.
Hulk Hogan, please don't drink, which is also one of the reasons why you maybe died. Remember, stay away from drugs and alcohol and live a drug-free life.
The only man in the world who can do handstand push-ups with his fist.
Roger, tell these
King Goods.
subscribe to the Prophet channel.
They got to.
Hulk, how did you get into this world? You've been doing so much in the last year. You've been at the RNC, you're on Fox, you're doing this Great American Beer Tour.
Well, I'm always looking for an opportunity, now that I don't wrestle anymore because I'm too old to wrestle.
Sure.
And a thing came up where I saw an open lane for a beer, light beer that America needs, a beer that was made, for Americans, made in America. And the owners live here. We're the only beer company that actually lives here. And there was an open lane that somebody dropped the ball on marketing-wise. I'm not going to name any names. And so we just started. And we came up with the name, the Real American Beer, way before we got our nation back. So the timing was perfect. It's kind of like we jumped on another lightning bolt and we're running.
I got to ask you, in the last week, a guy that ran against Tim Walz said he could beat any mega guy in a WWE fight. Have you heard about that? What do you think about that?
Well, I heard Tim Walz popping off. I used to live in Minnesota. There's a lot of nice people up there, I lived there for 4 years, by the way. But the guy that challenged him, I wouldn't want anything to do with him. It's Kane, the Undertaker's brother.
Okay, yeah.
And believe me, I don't want no part of that. He's way too big and too strong.
John Cena has become a bad guy in the last few weeks. Some say bigger than when you did it. Do you agree with that?
I'll agree with whatever you say. I'm not here to argue, man. I'm way past arguing with people, but John Cena is a great wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler without a doubt. And I was shocked.
You were shocked?
I was shocked. I never thought John would, turn into a bad guy, but it's a great storyline. I mean, the fans are booing him out of the building. The difference is when I turned into a bad guy, the fans were cheering me more than ever. So it was a little crazy. So I like to, see where this goes and how long he's going to run with it.
Final question. Should Dwayne Johnson run for president someday?
He'd probably win.
You think he'd win?
Yeah, he'd probably win. He's got a great following. He's got a built-in audience that's been with him for over 20 years. You know, I kind of like cracked the door open in Hollywood, and he kicked it off its hinges. So, you know, if he ran, I don't think he's interested right now, but down the road, he'd make a great president.
Hulk Hogan, thank you for your time, sir. Good luck.
Let's go in and rock that.
Number the other way, attacks and slams.
Dreams do come true. I am showering on Netflix.
Okay, I think I know what they are, but tell me.
Voila, these are my very, 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 very last set of crutches.
Your last set?
Yeah, when I first sent my first picture to Jennifer of me in the gym, I was posing, showing my tricep. And behind me, there must have been 80 crutches, because I saved all the crutches. You get 2 at a time, by the way, from all the surgeries. And even since I've been with Jennifer, I've had 17 surgeries in the last 10 years.
Oh, my God.
My knees, I've had 3 or 4 surgeries on my knees, each knee before I had them replaced.
What's not original here?
The knees are fake. The hips are fake. The back's full of metal, and part of my face is full of metal.
Oh, my God. Tell me about the injuries.
I didn't get the memo about the fake wrestling.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I missed that part. You know, it's predetermined. We know who's going to win or lose, but what people don't understand is it's very physical. And back in the day, in the 70s, when I first started, I've still got like teeth marks on my finger. There's an eye tooth there with teeth marks of people trying to bite my fingers.
Oh, my God.
Had my eye reconstructed a couple times from getting hit in the face. Nose broken 13 times. All these teeth, these fake teeth, have been knocked out 6 times. So it's been a wild ride.
I remember reading things that you were like 6'7" or 6'8".
Yeah.
I got to say, you don't seem 6'7" or 6'8", and I don't know whether there's a connection here. You seem, I'm not that you're not tall, but you don't seem 6'7" to me.
I was 6'7" before the Rocky movie.
How tall are you now?
I'm 6'4.5".
How could you lose almost 3 inches?
Fast forward 35 years later, dropping a leg drop every night on my spine, 2 knee replacements, 2 hip replacements, 9 back surgeries. When you get older, you kind of crunch up a little bit anyway. All those things added up, you know, so it's very, very physical.
There are some wrestlers, and maybe a lot of wrestlers, who deal with this with alcohol and drugs because of pain.
Yeah.
How common is that?
It's very common. When I was wrestling full-time, all of us did. That was the norm to survive.
It's hard to believe when you see somebody this big that steroids is not kind of the common drug in the ring.
Okay.
You ever do it?
Yes. Yes.
There was a time you said no.
Yeah, one time.
I've trained 20 years, 2 hours a day to look like I do. But the things that I am not is I'm not a steroid abuser, and I do not use steroids.
And actually, when I said no, I wasn't on steroids at the time, so I was playing with words.
Knowing what you've gone through, if you could make a decision again on whether to go into wrestling, having become the Bionic Man, would you do it again?
Macho going after the eye. Oh, no. F5! Plants Hogan. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oh yeah, I'll do it all over again.
So tell me what that is.
Well, this is the second or third attempt by Stallone to get a hold of me for the Rocky III movie. Vince McMahon Sr.'s secretary got a handwritten note. Well, I called him right away. And the whole story is I flew out there, got in the ring with him. We did a couple things. He tried to hit me a couple times. And see if you can grab me pretty quick, big guy, which I did.
This was an audition.
Yeah, and they were filming everything. And so I didn't have an agent. Never had done anything before. He goes, I'll give you $10,000 to do the movie. I went, nah, I want 15,000. You know, so I did it for 14,000.
No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. He negotiated you down from 15?
Well, yeah.
I apologize. First of all, you should have gone for way more than 15.
Well, I didn't know.
To all my love slaves out there, Thunder Lips is here. In the flesh, baby.
No, the character was great for, you know, the females. It's the ultimate male, Thunder Lips. Look at those lips.
It helped you get laid.
I'm talking about it helped me attract the opposite sex.
Good match. Hey, why'd you get so crazy on me out there? That's the name of the game.
You ended up on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I can't get over that because wrestlers weren't on that magazine. And to be on the cover, that must have been a moment for you.
It's never happened since. I've been the only wrestler ever to be on the cover. And at the time, we had not deregulated wrestling, which means we didn't tell the people that it's actual exhibition and we know who's going to win or lose. At the time, we were still fighting that fight, you know, saying, you know, this is a real sport. And I think Hulkamania just gets so popular and it was such a cult following that Sports Illustrated really didn't have a choice. What was so crazy is when I went back and I wrestled the Iron Sheik, it was a perfect storm. Iran was holding like 400 hostages at the time. The Iron Sheik was really the real deal. He was the Shah of Iran's bodyguard. He was the real deal. And I was doing all-American Hulkamania thing, tan, full head of blonde hair, the real American. So it was like the perfect time for this thing to take off.
And it became really almost a show of patriotism in a weird way, right?
Yes, sir. It sure was.
World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, the incredible Hulk Hogan.
I think you changed the sport and the crowd because you were the first true entertainer.
And I did that because I was not the greatest wrestler. I wasn't the greatest technical wrestler, but I had enough that I knew how to create emotion, how to create excitement, and to tell a good story when I was in there. And I just prided myself on telling stories.
What was the biggest perk of being a celebrity?
The biggest perk of being a celebrity.
Did you know that nearly half of US TV streaming time is on Roku? With Roku's new self-service ad tool, it's easy to set up your own CTV campaigns. So you can tap into Roku's leading scale and expand your marketing mix. Roku is the #1 TV streaming platform in the US by hours streamed. Go ahead, check out Roku Ads Manager for yourself.
Probably would have been at the airports. You know.
What, you got through faster?
Well, you'd get through faster, but then when you got to the gate, there would be so much chaos because I'd stand next, oh, is the plane on time? And we'd get swarmed by so many people. The gate agent would go, get him on the plane as soon as you can.
That's funny. Biggest drawback?
Biggest drawback, having to maintain and just really be cool and calm when it got extra personal. They get me like caged in and I can't go nowhere. Why can't they just calm down a little bit?
Because you're Hulk Hogan.
I'm Hulk Hoagie. When you're sitting there with your wife and kids, oh man, you're eating dinner, and oh, Hulk Hogan, oh, I'd want an autograph, I'm your biggest fan, and their pack of cigarettes would fall on your food.
You're trying.
You just had to go, I love you, brother. I'll take that picture and sign an autograph with you after I finish eating.
There was a low point in all of this where you literally had a gun in your mouth. How did you get out of that?
Well, I got to a point where everything kind of hit me at the same time.
So how'd you get out of that?
I made friends with Layla Ali.
Layla Ali in some way saved your life.
I really believe that if she hadn't have called, you know, just to say hello, you know, might have changed.
What's this?
This is a card from my soulmate, Jennifer. My wife? Yes, my wife. And this is a letter she wrote me.
When was it written?
Oh my gosh. Well, this letter was written 12, 14, 15. I've known Jennifer almost 10 years now. So this is on our 5th anniversary, but here's a really cool passage in here. You're my best friend. I am very proud of you for how you've handled the different challenges that have come up. Now I feel it's time for you to be rewarded for staying in faith. Time for you to help people even more. I love you so much each day. I'm totally grateful for being blessed with such a wonderful husband. Love you for life after life after life, Bird.
Can I take you way back?
Sure.
So Jennifer is not your first wife. You were actually married once before to Linda. What attracted you to Linda?
I just filmed the Rocky movie, and I was hanging out with one of my buddies that went to high school with me here in Florida. I just saw Linda, was attracted to her. You know, she was a beautiful looking lady, and she was just alive with energy, you know.
Was she attracted to Terry or Hulk?
I don't know the answer to that. I just think that as the pressure mounted and we got older and the kids got older, we just grew apart.
Was it coincidental that the marriage crumbled around the same time as the reality show?
You know, I don't think you can put those two together like that. What's up?
I can't live like this, Terry.
Every day it's drama. It's just ridiculous.
In case you can't tell, I've had it, okay? I'm spent.
I got
don't
it.
want
I
to
got
make it work anymore. I'm
I know
like
you don't.
over it.
I'm done with it. I knew that one of the problems in our marriage was that Linda, you know, she said, well, you know, I've helped you all these years and, you know, I didn't have a career. And I looked at the reality show as a calculated risk because my marriage was already starting to implode and things weren't good at all. And I thought that maybe if we did a reality show, everybody would get busy, have a huge net worth, feel great about themselves. Oh man, isn't that great? Got a good show. And it would just make things channel in a different direction.
That didn't happen.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
You know, when people get divorced, a lot of times, you know, you split things 50-50 down the middle and you move on. I read that you gave way more than 50. That was a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
My understanding was it was about 70% you gave up. There was a low point in all of this where you literally had a gun in your mouth. How did you get out of that?
Well, I got to a point where everything kind of hit me at the same time. The divorce, my whole world falling apart. Both of the kids were with Linda, and that's how I ended up playing with a gun.
So how'd you get out of that?
I made friends with Layla Ali, and during the day, I had several phone calls. I picked it up, said, hey, we're just checking on you. I want to make sure everything's cool. You know, we haven't talked because we were doing American Gladiators together.
Right.
I said, everything's fine, everything's good. And I'm crying there, you know, sitting in the bathroom.
Did she have a sense?
She knew something was wrong with me.
So she literally calls you when you're holding this gun?
Yes.
Wow.
And just her saying hello to me and saying, yeah, we're just checking on you, make sure everything's okay. That pretty much woke me up. And in that moment, I said, you know what? There are a lot of good people out there.
So Layla Ali in some way saved your life.
I really believe that if she hadn't have called, you know, just to say hello, you know, might have changed.
Have you told her that?
I can't remember if we talked or not.
So let's talk about Jennifer. Tell me how she changed your life.
Oh my gosh. She just, we just kind of hit it off to be around somebody that was enlightened and real spiritual, which I didn't even understand. Every single day now is a good day for me. I don't have good and bad days. I've got good days and I got better days.
Being a content creator can feel like you've always got to be on, always live. It's overwhelming. So stream smarter. Upload your video to Restream, and we'll stream it live whenever and wherever you want. Maximize your audience and growth while Restream frees you up to do whatever. Morning, afternoon, or late at night, your stream goes live exactly when you've planned, even while you're offline. It's not about streaming all the time, it's about streaming smarter. Upload and stream from Restream.
What went through your mind when you first heard there was a sex tape out? I mean, you used the N-word in the sex tape. That was the nuclear bomb, right?
Yeah, it was.
If this tape wasn't leaked, and suppose there was no Gawker trial, do you think you'd be using that word today when you got angry? So tell me what this is. Dying to see.
Well, this is the legal pad that I had in court with me during the Gawker trial. And what I did all day long was write. I just wrote all day long.
Were you following the trial on this?
No, I wasn't following the trial. These are just like affirmations, you know, I'm only victory, perfect health.
In the middle of the trial?
God fights and wins all battles, still and stay centered. If you read all the stuff, I was praying the whole time I was
This is all God, 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 God.
Yeah, I mean, when I would go in there, I would walk in with light, with this high vibration. I'd write, you know, I pray for these very talented lawyers of Gawker to see the error of their ways and become great lawyers and help people.
Why did you sue in the first place?
I sued basically because I never wanted anything like this to happen to anybody else. When they first put the tape up, we were very kind and asked them to take it down. When they said no, I said, okay, that's it.
The allegations in that lawsuit state that approximately 6 years ago, the Clems secretly videotaped Mr. Hogan having private, consensual, intimate relations in a private bedroom.
In the beginning of the trial, my attorney, David Houston, got an email from a lady whose husband had just committed suicide. A person he was having an affair with sent him a tape and he took his own life. I said, I know that feeling. I understand that train of thought. And I never wanted anybody to go through anything that I went through. And at the end of the day, you know, the First Amendment needed to be protected, our privacy rights.
It put a very bad part of your life on public display. And that must have been an issue for you before you decided to sue.
It was, but this was much bigger than me or much bigger than my career. This was something that, you know, I've said it before and I'm not joking around. You know, as a wrestler, that was a great part of my life. But now that I understand why I'm here, wrestling was just set up. It was just a setup, a stepping stone for who I am and what I'm meant to do and be. No matter what happened in my career, this was so much bigger.
What went through your mind when you first heard there was a sex tape out? I mean, you used the N-word in this sex tape and referring to Brooke's boyfriend at the time. What goes through your head to say, I will still fight, even if that comes out? Because that was the nuclear bomb, right?
Yeah, it was. When I knew that was coming out, all the lawyers said, if you want to stop, you can stop. You don't have to go forward. There's a huge amount of money being offered. This will never see the light of day. I went, I can't do that.
Why?
Because I'm not that guy. I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror every day. I have to be accountable. I have to be able to live with myself. And what's so cool about it is it did really wake me up. It really slapped me and woke me up. And it made me realize how powerful words are. For the people that know me and love me, they know who I am. You know, they know I'm not a racist, you know, but I understand that people that didn't know me judge me just from those words. That's all they had.
If this tape wasn't leaked, and suppose there was no Gawker trial, do you think you'd be using that word today when you got angry?
No.
Why?
No. I've tried to clean up my whole life. You know, I've made a whole switch, almost a shift from, you know, being negative or fighting, scratching and clawing. And as I work hard and I move forward, you know, that I'm in check with myself. So all this stuff comes back around. You have to be what you say you are.
How do you think the Black community views you right now?
what's so crazy is the Black community has never backed away from me. As far as, you know, the Black community and using the word, it's not part of who I am now. You know, it's not part of my language because I understand how powerful words are. You know, growing up in South Tampa, where we came from, it was a situation where when you played baseball and basketball and ran around in South Tampa, it was just common knowledge 45, 50 years ago, but it's not that way anymore.
You heard you were going to get $140 million.
Yes.
What went through your head?
I just broke down. They said 143 million. I was like, what? It just blew me away. You know, I just didn't expect it. It was overwhelming.
You eventually settled for $31 million. Are you set for life?
I was set for life before I had that money. I'm happy, brother. Things are good.
One of the things that did happen was that the WWE broke ties with you. Did you expect that was going to happen?
No, I didn't. When I heard this was going to happen, I called them on a Thursday or Friday, and I said, there's a chance that this verbiage may come out. As I hung up the phone that night, they fired me at 5 in the morning. And it really caught me off guard. I didn't expect it because the WWE knows who I am. I'm not that person. That's not who I am and not what I do.
So why do you think they did it?
I think they did what was best for business. They were worried about losing sponsors and network support. I expected something different.
Is that the most painful thing in terms of the fallout?
It was tough. It was tough. You know, it hit me hard. You know, I've been through a lot of highs and lows. When you look at a 40-year career, just gone.
Now the time has passed, do you think they'll ever ask you to come back?
I'm not sure, you know.
Would you come back if they asked?
I don't know.
I want to get into a tough subject, the car accident. Nick was in a car, and he had a passenger in the car was John Graciano, former Marine, who to this day is in a vegetative state after the car crashed. Do you at all partly blame yourself?
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC next to your business name? Say hello to Taylor Brands. Just go to their site, enter your LLC state, choose your business name, answer a few questions, and that's it. Now your business has tax flexibility and personal asset protection. Plus, it's approved by the state. And it took you what, 3 minutes?
As business owners, we can't waste any time. That's the advantage of using Taylor Brands. They get you your time back.
Taylor Brands handles everything from forming an LLC, your EIN, opening a business bank account, taxes and bookkeeping, your registered agent, and more. As a business builder.
All in one platform for the business owner.
Search for Taylor Brands
and start your business journey today.
Looking to hire? Medical staff, tech support, kitchen help, freight managers, you name it. ZipRecruiter delivers candidates with the right skills and experience fast. So fast that 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate on day one. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to find the best talent for your business. Spend less time searching for quality candidates and more time growing your business with the right people. Find who you're looking for faster. Try for free at ZipRecruiter.com.
I have my good luck rock right here.
So tell me about the rock.
Well, this is a rock that I got in high school.
You kept it?
Yeah, I kept it ever since 12th grade. Me and a buddy of mine had a big cooler of beer, and we're standing up drinking beers. And we picked this thing up and went, oh, it looks like the Cro-Magnon man. You know, we had a little beer buzz on. It looks like a skull. And I went, that's a good luck rock. I gave it to my buddy to keep. We argued about it. I said, no, you keep it. So he had it for a while and got married, had kids, and went through a bunch of drama, and things turned out okay. And he gave it back to me. He goes, you take the rock now. And I kept it for several years. And then when I went through the divorce, the kids were kind of torn. And I told my son, Nick, I said, Nick, I've got the same power as your mom, 50-50. So if you want to stay here with me in Florida, you can stay here. Or if you want to go with your mom, you can go with me. He goes, well, Dad, I really want to take care of Mom. Yeah, I said, well, here's my good luck rock. Take it with you and, just take care of business. And Nick took off to California, and a few years later, when everybody got settled in and everything's okay, he gave me the rock back. So this is my good luck rock.
Let's talk about your kids, actually. What about the reality show? Were they positively affected, negatively affected, not affected?
I think it took them out of the rhythm of that normal friendship with their friends and the camaraderie and going to school and being on a schedule. Homeschooling, and you got to film every day, and you got to have a mic on you at 8 in the morning. It doesn't come off till midnight sometimes. I think it was too fast, too much.
It's probably a little bit our fault because they've been getting away with murder and we've just been letting it go.
A lot of this is our fault.
I want to get into a tough subject, the car accident.
Police investigating a horrific car accident, Clearwater, Florida, involving pro wrestler Hulk Hogan's son, 17-year-old Nick Hogan, released from the hospital today after the car he was driving hit a raised median, flipped around, smashed into a palm tree. Police say Hogan was driving at a high rate of speed before the crash, and both he and a passenger had to be airlifted to a nearby hospital.
The passenger in the car was John Graziano, former Marine, who to this day is in a vegetative state after the car crashed. Do you at all partly blame yourself?
There was a time when I did, I've learned to forgive myself, Nick, everybody, part of the race team, everybody that lived at my house, everybody that was there and wasn't there, everybody that pointed the finger and blamed, It was a very tough situation. All the specifics, the no seatbelt, the rain, all of it added up to just a very bad, tragic situation. I just had to forgive everybody, even myself.
John Graziano's dad did not.
August 26, 2007, everything changed because of the senseless, reckless acts of Nick Bollea. What Al-Qaeda could not do to my son, Nick Bollea did in a matter of minutes. I can only imagine the things John could have accomplished with the rest of his life. Thank you.
It doesn't sound like he forgave.
Well, like I said, I've forgiven everybody, even Mr. Graziano. One of the reasons John was living with me was because there were several attempts physically to hurt him on his life when he was at home. So I understand, the venom and the negativity, and, I just had to, release it, and just forgive everyone.
Nick was in jail for this.
No one has ever been put in an adult prison or even gone to jail for the situation Nick was in. Reckless driving with serious bodily harm. Everybody in Florida gets probation except for Nick.
Do you think it was because of your celebrity?
I don't know what. I have my opinions, but I don't know the answer.
Would I be wrong if I said that spotlight got put on him because of you?
Yes, you would be spot on right. Not wrong. You'd be right.
I do want to talk about the jailhouse tapes. You guys had talked about doing another reality show, making some money off of that.
Will you work on that reality deal?
Yeah.
For me and get that thing lined up so the minute I walk out of wherever I walk out of, it's there, boom. I want to do it where I'll make the most money.
The new Nick, we call it the new Nick or something. The point of it was, if you were in my shoes and your 16-year-old son went to jail and they put him in an adult prison, they put you in the shoe, which is a very small cell when you're by yourself, isolated. And when you get a panic phone call from your son that, oh my gosh, Dad, I can't see out, I don't know where I'm at, and you get calls from Dwayne the dog Chapman that you got to get him out of there. After 4 or 5 days, he'll start chewing on his own tongue. Sometimes, they'll eat worse things, their own feces if they don't get out of there. And what I did on the phone was read to him, The Secret, The Power Now, Eckhart Tolle stuff. I read the Bible to him. I did everything I could, including talking about a reality show, and we'll get back in front of the camera and we'll turn this into a positive. I did everything I could to keep my son from mentally defecting and losing him mentally.
How's he doing now?
He's doing great. He's on track. He got a degree in mixing and mastering, so he does a lot of DJing and stuff, and he's selling different car parts, and, he sells used cars and stuff.
What about Brooks? She went to Nashville. She wrote songs. She works it, doesn't she?
Yeah, Brooke's been beating it up. I'm telling you, she's been on the path for quite a long time. 4 years in Nashville as a songwriter. Now she's back in LA, still doing music and doing the entertainment stuff. She hosted a new show called Fashion Hero that got picked up overseas in a lot of different countries. And she's out beating those streets trying to find the bridge.
What's your wish for your kids?
Greatness, happiness, consciousness. More than anything, just being aware that life is good, The people are good. Just always be happy and positive, you know.
Number the other way, attacks and slams.
Dreams do come true. I am showering on Netflix.
You said something a couple of years ago and made me wonder maybe the next thing could be politics. You said, I'm ready to be Trump's running mate.
You know, maniacs, in 7 days, in 7 nights, God created the heavens and the earth. And on the 8th day, he created a set of forest pythons. And then on the 9th day, I created Hogan's Beach Shop, brother.
This is the ribbon from the grand opening. When we opened Hogan's Beach Shop Orlando, we had a crazy crowd out front with tons of Hulkamaniacs, red and yellow. You could see it for miles. And this was the ribbon that we cut for the grand opening.
Did you ever wonder, especially around the time you stepped away from wrestling, is that going to continue? Because there are a lot of people that get forgotten when they retire.
I was wondering, but, I've been around so long and the public knows me so well. I kind of like etch my way in. Some people sometimes call me the Babe Ruth of wrestling. So it's really cool to have people say those things about you,
You miss wrestling?
Tremendously.
How so? What do you miss about it?
Oh my gosh. Anybody that's ever had a good workout, once you get done working out, you had that good sweat. Oh my gosh, it makes my day. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel good. Oh, I don't feel like working out. But after you train, you go, yeah, all right, I'm ready. It's that times 10.
Do you enjoy it more now when people come up and because I saw this outside your shop where you walked in and everybody kind of swarmed.
What you gonna do when Hogan's Beach Shop runs wild on you?
Is that kind of that thrill? They haven't forgotten me, and it may not be 20,000 people, but sometimes 15 can do the trick.
Yeah, it really is just like, it's an affirmation. It makes me feel that everything I did actually meant something to all the fans.
You said something a couple of years ago and made me wonder maybe the next thing could be politics. You said, I'm ready to be Trump's running mate.
Who would you be most excited to leg drop or go against?
Potential candidates?
Yeah, any of them.
In the ring?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the ring with any candidates. I want to be Trump's running mate.
First of all, why'd you say it?
Well, because I was probably crazy at the time. It wasn't about how good you were for the job. It was almost like how popular you were. And I thought I had a legitimate chance back in the day.
About Trump?
Like I said, I was out of my mind.
Well, I would like to thank the mayor and the former mayor and maybe your...
In Orlando or somewhere around here, you're interesting to you?
I didn't call myself a hero. I didn't call myself a role model. My fans did. And I think I'm tangible. They relate to me because I've got so many scars on me, and I'm still standing. Like Stallone said, it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about getting hit, getting back up, and moving forward.
What's the one thing you want to do before you kind of go into the sunset?
The one thing I want to do before I go into the sunset. Wow. I'm tapping out, cut. That's a good one.
I made Hulk Hogan tap out.
You got me.
That's the end. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much.
Life is so good, brother.
Thank you so
I
much.
couldn't even answer that question.
What up, though? Slide here. I want to introduce you to your new favorite collaborative tool. Let's go. Start with your own loop. From there, you can open up your DAW, start firing off right away. Either if it's just a piano, maybe it's a little bit layered. After that, you're just gonna bring it right into your DAW, chop it up, add your special sauce, and there you have it. Start with your own loop. With that being said, we are out. Peace.
Ric Flair just posted an emotional tribute after hearing the heartbreaking news about the death of Hulk Hogan. On X, Flair said, "I am absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend Hulk Hogan. Hulk has been by my side since we started in the wrestling business. An incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. Our relationship has meant the world to me. He was always there for me, even when I didn't ask for him to be. He was one of the first to visit me when I was in the hospital with a 2% chance of living, and he prayed by my bedside. Hulk also lent me money when Reed was sick. Holster, no one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my friend." That right there is more than just a tribute. It's a deep emotional farewell from someone who truly lived through decades of ups and downs with Hogan. And if you're a fan of wrestling, you already know, Hogan and Flair weren't just superstars. They were legends icons who defined an entire era of wrestling. Flair's post also gives us a side of Hogan that fans didn't always get to see. It hits different. We're talking real-life loyalty, compassion, and love. The fact that he visited Rick in the hospital during his lowest point, or helped him financially when his son Reed was sick, that's powerful. There's going to be a lot of tributes pouring in over the next few days. But this one from Rick, it hits different.
The world of wrestling has lost a legend. Hulk Hogan, the man who defined an era, has passed away. But what really happened in his final days? Was it as sudden as it seems, or were there signs we all missed? Today, we're diving deep into the life, legacy, and the untold story behind the shocking death of Hulk Hogan. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will change the way you remember the immortal one forever. July 24th, 2025 will forever be a dark day for wrestling fans. Terry Jean Bollea, known to the world as Hulk Hogan, passed away at the age of 71 in his Clearwater, Florida home after suffering a cardiac arrest. According to reports from the Clearwater Police Department, emergency crews responded to a 9:51 a.m. call, but despite their efforts, Hogan was pronounced dead at Morton Plant Hospital at 11:17 a.m. His manager, Linda Bowes, shared the heartbreaking news with Newsweek, saying, "We are heartbroken. He was such a great human being and friend. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestler, he was a phenomenon." Born Terry Jean Bollea in 1953, Hogan transformed professional wrestling from a niche spectacle into a global pop culture juggernaut. In the 1980s, under Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, now WWE, Hogan became the face of Hulkamania. His red and yellow gear, iconic bandana, and larger-than-life persona made him a household name. Let's talk about that moment, WrestleMania 3, 1987, in front of 93,173 fans at the Pontiac Silverdome. Hogan body slammed the 520-pound Andre the Giant, a feat dubbed the Slam Herd, round the world. That match didn't just make Hogan a legend. It solidified WWE as a mainstream powerhouse. Hogan won 6 WWE championships and headlined WrestleMania 8 times. His catchphrase, "Train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins," inspired kids everywhere to become Hulkamaniacs. But Hogan's influence went beyond the ring. In recent years, Hogan became a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, even ripping his shirt at the 2024 RNC to reveal a Trump Vance tank top. Trump himself called Hogan's speech electric, saying, "Hulk Hogan was MAGA all the way strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart." The wrestling world and beyond are mourning Hogan's loss. Ric Flair, a close friend, wrote on X, "Hulk has been by my side since we started in the wrestling business. An incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. Triple H called him the archetype of a superstar, and even President Trump paid tribute, saying, "Hulk Hogan will be greatly missed." Hogan's family shared a heartfelt statement on Instagram. It is with a heavy heart that we confirm we have lost a legend. May we all take solace in the wonderful memories he left behind for millions of fans worldwide. His legacy as the man who made wrestling a global phenomenon will live forever. Thank you for joining us to honor the life and legacy of Hulk Hogan. If you're a fan of the Hulkster, share your favorite memory in the comments below, whether it's a match, a movie, or a moment that made you a Hulkamaniac. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more wrestling tributes and updates. Let's keep Hulkamania running wild in our hearts. Rest in peace, Hulkster. Until next time, stay strong, say your prayers, and keep watching.
Wait a minute. This isn't Sling, which gives me the most important news in a convenient manner and at a wonderful price? That's more like it.
The most important news at the best price. Sling lets you do that.
Okay, so the heartbreaking news, July 24th, 2025, 9:51 a.m. A desperate 911 call from Clearwater Beach changed wrestling forever. The voice on the other end was reporting a cardiac arrest.
Fire attack Bravo, Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, cardiac arrest. Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, fire attack Bravo.
The victim, Terry Jean Bolea, better known to the world as Hulk Hogan. But what led to this tragic morning? The truth behind his final months will shock you. For months before his death, the wrestling legend was fighting the biggest battle of his life. Not in the ring, but for his very survival. Let me take you through the heartbreaking timeline that led to that fatal morning. It all started in May 2025. Hogan underwent what his team called a little fusion procedure. But this was no minor surgery. It was a 4-level anterior cervical discectomy and fusion on his neck. Decades of body slams, chair shots, and wrestling punishment had finally caught up with the Hulkster. His wife, Sky, described it as an intense surgery with a long and layered healing process. Initially, everything seemed fine. His representatives told TMZ he was up and running the very next day. Eric Bischoff, his close friend, assured fans he was recovering well. But behind closed doors, something was terribly wrong. By mid-June, disturbing rumors began surfacing. Radio host Bubba the Love Sponge, who had inside knowledge, claimed Hogan was hospitalized with heart issues. Family members were allegedly summoned for what could be final goodbyes. Hogan's team quickly denied these reports, but the damage was done. Something wasn't right. Then came July 1st, the most chilling report yet. Bubba alleged that Hogan had suffered possible brain damage from prolonged breathing issues and had been on a ventilator. His representatives fought back, denying any brain damage, but the pattern was becoming clear. The surgery had gone horribly wrong. By July 9th, reports emerged that Hogan had been in ICU for nearly 6 weeks. He was described as confused and unfit for any public appearances. The man who once lifted Andre the Giant above his head was now struggling to breathe on his own. The most heartbreaking revelation came from his longtime manager, Jimmy Hart. He revealed that Hogan had suffered an adverse reaction to his cervical surgery and had lost his ability to speak. The voice that once shouted, "What you gonna do, brother?" was silenced. He was being cared for at home in a hospital bed under constant medical supervision.
I think I have some Hogan news.
Oh. I heard some stuff too.
Yeah, and you got your Hogan news.
Yes.
Through, and listen, should we say where you got it just to validate where you got it? Well, but it's also going to dry, like once we say where you got it, it's going to dry it up.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to name the guys.
No. I'm not going to. Yeah. But we know there's one person in Hogan's circle.
Oh yeah.
So you got your information through somebody that's very close into Hogan's circle. And I don't know if we disclose that person or not, but I think if we do, it'll just validate, how ironclad your information is.
Yeah.
But it's going to make that guy be more careful on blabbing his mouth.
Yeah, but there's still probably some other people out there blabbing.
So go ahead and tell me what you heard, and I'll tell you what I heard. I'll tell you where I got my information from.
Okay.
I got my information from a guy that works security at the hospital.
Oh, nice.
Good one.
I got mine through not just a friend of his, through him, who is knowledgeable about what just happened with Hogan at that hospital. So I'll tell mine after you tell yours.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart,
Out to the South,
was at a wrestling
show. He was out of wrestling. They were doing wrestling stuff over the weekend,
right? And was he there doing signing pictures? So you heard through your source that Jimmy Hart said what?
Hogan's not doing well. He can't speak. His trach or whatever was damaged, and he's having problems, and it does not look good.
That's what you. So
he
doesn't look good.
Jimmy Hart looks great, but no, Hogan doesn't look good.
I think the Bubba the Love Sponge show is disseminating that information, but it didn't come from me. It's what I got from my security guard, that he was transported to his house, but he's still they went and got a hospital. He's in a hospital bed. And, it's just like he's at the hospital. They've gone as far as they can go at the hospital. Now they're keeping him comfortable at his house in a hospital bed.
Is that hospice?
I don't know. That's not the words that were used.
Not home hospice. No, I don't think it's that.
No. And I think there probably comes a point if you got, if you're hooked up to two machines and, you're just laying there at Morton Plant, your family could probably argue, and you could have your own doctor show up at your house because you.
I talked about Bubba the Love Sponge has been giving me details on a weekly basis for the last month. Now, Bubba took a lot of abuse and a lot of hate, because there were a lot of people and people close to Hulk Hogan saying, Bubba doesn't know what he's talking about. Bubba's full of shit. Bubba's looking for clicks, whatever the situation is. But I knew Bubba and Hulk were besties for something like 15 years. 15 years. These guys were like brothers. So I knew.
Did you know that nearly half of US TV streaming time is on Roku? With Roku's new self-service ad tool, it's easy to set up your own CTV campaigns. So you can tap into Roku's leading scale and expand your marketing mix. Roku is the #1 TV streaming platform in the US by hours streamed. Go ahead, check out Roku Ads Manager for yourself.
Bubba knew those in the inner circle. I knew he knew those close around Hogan. And these were the ones that were feeding Bubba the information. And when Bubba was giving me the information, he was being so specific. He was giving me details of what was going on with Hulk Hogan. And I told Bubba I believed him, and I even...
This was ginned up by Bubba the Love Sponge, who on June 1st questioned, or said that family members had been contacted to come in and say their goodbyes.
Where my fire starters at? GFTV back with another Fire Flame meltdown. Like, share, subscribe. Always remember, fear the fire and fear the flame. If you ain't a fire starter, hawker, walker, or stalker yet, what you waiting on, family? Come on over here and subscribe, because we stomp, step, and stay on real morals and traditional principles. And ain't nothing morally sound or tradition about how Jimmy Hart been backdooring and sneaking Hulk Hogan for the past 2 fucking months. And ain't no telling how long he been sneaking and backdooring Hulk Hogan. Hit the like button, drop your fire and TVs in the chat. Let's get into this. Because I'm so sick and tired of what the hell has been going on all around the internet. Especially with this Hulk Hogan situation. RIP to one of the greatest to ever do it. We ain't letting it go down like that. Especially not at a time like this. Especially not from Bubba the Love Sponge, and especially, okay, not from somebody that we thought Hulk Hogan trusted genuinely. Alright? Because Hulk Hogan got to be turning the fuck over. He ain't even get in the grave yet, yo. That's the crazy part. He got to be turning over, and he ain't even get in the grave yet. And what I mean by that is, all right, everybody was trying to figure out why Bubba the Love Sponge and how Bubba the Love Sponge was getting all of this information about Hulk Hogan's declining health. All right, yo, this has been going on for about like a good month, a good 5 weeks. Not to mention, this is the only particular person, a particular podcaster that was releasing this information about Hulk Hogan's rapidly declining health due to the alleged surgery back in May. But due to the fallout Hulk Hogan and Bubba Sponge had after their 15-year friendship as buddy old pals, everybody thought Bubba the Love Sponge was trolling. Everybody thought Bubba the Love Sponge, all right, just was popping regular shit because he's a Hulk Hogan hater in real life. Not only is he a Hulk Hogan hater, he's jealous of Hulk. Not only is he jealous of Hulk, if you go down Bubba the Love Sponge, that nasty ass page, he keeps Hulk Hogan's shh in his mouth. He keep Hulk Hogan shh in his mouth. He stay dick riding Hulk Hogan. Pause. All you see is him popping shit about Hulk, 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 popping shit about Hulk. Even before Hulk Hogan's decline in health. This has been going on for years and years due to the fact that Hulk Hogan don't fuck with him no more. Not only that, y'all, Jimmy Hart, like I said, he need to be ashamed of his goddamn self. As long as him and Hulk Hogan been in the wrestling business together, as long as they've been close, tight buddies and pals, we know all that all those resources came from you. Everything that Bubba the Love Sponge was saying was coming from you, Jimmy Hart. But the crazy thing that I have a problem with is the simple fact when everybody else in the wrestling world, other people that care about Hulk Hogan, that was concerned about Hulk Hogan, that was worried about Hulk Hogan's health, due to the fact that Bubba the Love Sponge was popping shit about how Hulk Hogan had a trach in his mouth and how he was going to be sounding like Kane when he talked, and he gonna have to put something up to his throat and all this weird old shit. All right.
Switch to the Google Fi Wireless Flexible plan and only pay for the data you use. Get unlimited calls and texts for $35 per month for 2 lines. Then it's just $10 per gig for data. You'll get high-speed hotspot tethering, and you can use your data on tablets with data-only SIM cards at no extra cost. Switch to Google Fi Wireless today.
When people were asking you, you were telling them Hulk Hogan was fine. You were denying all the allegations. You were denying all the allegations. And just like we heard Eric Bischoff say, y'all, he's been getting updates, okay, from Bubba the Love Sponge personally for a month. Personally. Very detailed updates. And I'm hearing y'all, okay, that Bubba the Love Sponge got videos, photos, images, pictures of Hulk Hogan on his deathbed in one of the worst states of his life. And I'm hearing allegedly that a lot of this inside information, a lot of this inside data and intel is coming from the one and only Jimmy Hart, as we seen Jimmy Hart on SmackDown with them fake ass tears. Looking all goofy and shit, looking suspect. Hit the like button, y'all. Can we all agree? Because, like I said, the last person that Jimmy Hart should be given this type of information to is Bubba the Love Sponge. Like, come on. Like, really? Like, really? What we doing here? And I can bet you, yo, I can bet you any amount of money, y'all. Okay? That Hulk Hogan got Jimmy Hart a part of his will, a part of his estate, because Jimmy Hart was a part of a lot of Hulk Hogan business ventures. Do the research. Everybody in the wrestling business know how close Hulk and Jimmy was and how Hulk trusted Jimmy with a lot of his business practices. And like I said, Hulk ain't even get in the goddamn grave yet, y'all. He got to be spinning and turning around right in the morgue before he get there, because the last person he expect will be Jimmy Hart to snake him out to one of his worst enemies. We all know the detailed beef about and why Hulk Hogan don't really fuck with Bubba. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Like, share, subscribe. Always remember, fear the fire and fear the flame. God fear. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. For Trump, and how Hogan showed up at the convention a couple days after Trump got shot. Hulk Hogan was the first entertainer after Donald Trump got shot. This was the first convention after Donald Trump got shot. Hulk Hogan was there to speak. Yep. He was there to speak. This woman, they're trying to make it seem like she's the basically the sole beneficiary of this whole situation, man. Okay? They got her as the face of all his tributes and everything over the years when she just came into his life. She just came into his life. His daughter ain't trust him. The son ain't trust. It's crazy. Like, I even explained to everybody that after Nick Hogan had that accident, man. After Nick Hogan had that accident and he crippled his friend, Nick Hogan ain't getting no trouble with the police. He was good. All the way from 2007, 2008, all the way to 2023, when Hulk Hogan married Sky and Sky moved in their house. Next thing you know, Nick getting pulled over and arrested by the goddamn police. Nick getting arrested and pulled over by the goddamn police.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube and all your platforms at once. Get ready for 5 times more engagement and views. Oh, the algorithms love streams and engagement, rewarding you with even more views. While you, sure that works, upload and stream from Restream.
Now, I don't think it's a distraction. I think they're all aligned with each other. Big energy harvesters. I believe they all align with each other. It's a couple of channels that's talking about it, how these 3 deaths align, and how this was supposed to be and who's been a lot. Michael Jackson and Pepsi Cola, golf and NBA started trademarking. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You either was on the payroll or you wasn't. It wasn't no separate brandings and separate deals and all this shit. You getting paid off of your name. You getting paid off of merchandise. You getting paid off of toys and action figures and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? That shit was never heard of. And that's why I said, man, every wrestler that comes into the business of wrestling tries to fill the shoes of Hulk Hogan or be even bigger than him. That's your ultimate goal, to be just as good or better than Hulk Hogan and to make the main event at WrestleMania. Okay, Hulk Hogan is the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Number 1. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hulk Hogan is the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. He's the Mount Rushmore of sports entertainment, period. He changed the whole game of how everything is presented, how everything is promoted. The reason why Air Jordan run wild is because Hulkamania ran wild first. The reason why, okay, Michael Jackson trademark the moonwalk and moonwalker and all that shit. You see, all that was due to the fact of Hulk Hogan paving the way for all that branding and endorsements to happen. Once they seen it could be done, oh, it was a wrap. How much Hogan is really worth too. But Hogan is worth a lot.
I'm almost like an old man at heart. I don't know why I've been like that since I was young. Even with producing, I still like making beats the old way. But I love when something new or some new piece of technology, some new equipment come out. Cause it's like, dang, I can use that to add to what I do, and it'll make me that much bigger or better. This right here helps me to, expand and think outside of what I would have done. I like that string line right there. That's hard.
Of goddamn money, yo. All right. Like I said, man, Hulk Hogan is just as big, you know what I mean, as Michael Jackson and the Michael Jordans and the LeBron James of the world. Like I said, man, if it wasn't for Hulkamania, it wouldn't be no LeBron James shoes and Kevin Durant's and Kyrie Irving's and all the branding that they got as well in endorsements. If Hogan ain't paved the way for that. So not only do the wrestling business owe a lot to Hogan, but all sports as a whole owe a lot to Hulk Hogan. The NFL players, the NBA players, baseball players, everybody owe a lot to Hulk Hogan. Yeah, his daughter tried to warn him. Yup. Yup. They were beefing. The daughter and Sky. The daughter and Sky, they were beefing. Bad. And it's like soon as Hogan started fucking around with her, all right, she attacked Linda and Brooke right out the gate on social media. And it made it seem like Hulk Hogan was involved with it because Hulk Hogan don't really know too much about the social media far as how to run it. He has other people running that shit for him. You see what I'm saying? He ain't really too social media and technology savvy. You see what I'm saying? So when his wife did this shit, he ain't even know that she did it. He ain't even know what happened. Okay, I don't believe that he would allow her to, I mean, embarrass his daughter and shit in any type of way, man. Nah, man, I just don't see that. I just don't see that with Hawk because he was real, real close to Brooke. He was on the back end. And like I said, man, it's a damn shame. All right. All these actors and entertainers and athletes, we see everybody around them when they spending that money and when the money is coming in, you see all these people around. But every time these people die, nobody is around, y'all. It's like when we see them on TV, you can never see them by themselves, right? All the rappers that died, all the athletes and entertainers that died, when we look at their content, all right, they're around so many people at all times of the day. 365 all the time. Lights, camera, action, lights, camera, action, lights, camera, action. But when these people drop dead, all of a sudden, nobody is nowhere to be found. Nobody ain't seen or heard nothing. Shout out One True, man. What's good with you? What's up with you, True? Good to see you. Yeah, man. So when all these people be around a person when they enjoying the best of their life and living their best life, but when they going through the worst of situations, nobody is never around. And yo, I can relate to that shit. How many people in this chat could relate to that shit? How many can relate? All right, everybody is around when shit turning and spinning, right? But when shit stop turning and spinning and the wheel don't stop when they where they want the wheel to stop, like the Price is Right, you don't see no goddamn body. When you going through the worst times in your life, nobody is around. But when you going through the best times of your life, everybody around with that fake love and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. And then when you die, nobody is around, as we see with these individuals. All right, nobody is around when the Mount Rushmore of wrestling dies. Crazy work. Okay, where is the life support machine while they giving him CPR? Exactly.